It is time once again to take a look at the 2023 NHL Draft. Many of these top prospects were on display at the 2023 World Junior Championships, so many people are much more familiar with these players now. Today we're going to take a look at the Draft Lottery Simulator. Take a look at which NHL teams have the best odds at selecting first overall. We'll complete a mock simulation to see who wins the lottery, and then of course we'll complete a mock draft for the top 10 picks. All that coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, today we're going to play around with the Tankathon.com Draft Lottery Simulator for the 2023 NHL Draft. We know it's going to be a very deep draft with lots of talented players, many of which who had an opportunity to display their talents to the world at the World Junior Championships, certainly raising an awareness on a lot of their abilities and creating a lot more familiarity with your average fans who don't necessarily keep up with prospects quite as much as some others that do. So today we're going to take another look at the draft. We did a mock draft back in the fall. Today we're going to do a revised version of that. Take a look at how these players' seasons have gone, how the draft order may have changed. But of course, the most fun part of this is to take a look at the Draft Lottery Simulator. So we'll take a look at all the teams that are in the lottery right now. The Tankathon.com website will simulate for us an opportunity to do that draw and see who gets first overall. And then I'll give you my thoughts on who these teams would select based on the top 10 selection. So we're not going to hop onto the computer, go onto the Tankathon.com website, and have a little fun with the Draft Lottery Simulator. Okay, so as you can see, we are on the Tankathon.com website for the NHL Draft Lottery Simulator. So obviously, this is where we can play around and simulate the lottery. So here are the teams right now in the lottery. Of course, the bottom 6 teams in the NHL. Right now, Columbus is in first place as of January the 18th as I record this video. The Anaheim Ducks have the second best odds, followed by Chicago, Arizona, San Jose, Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa, Philadelphia, Florida, which goes to Montreal. So Montreal has 2 picks here in the top 10. Detroit, St. Louis, Buffalo, Nashville, the Islanders, and the Avalanche. So, of course, remember, you can only move up 10 spots. So, obviously, some of these teams at the bottom here, from St. Louis down, are not eligible to get the first overall pick, but they could still win the lottery and move up substantially, which is still a massive win. Now, as you can see, here are the odds. Just take a quick look at here because we haven't done this in a while. The Columbus Blue Jackets about the 25.5% chance of picking first, and the 18.5 or 18.8% chance, picking second, but a 55.7% chance of picking third. Obviously, what that means is that they don't have great odds, even though they have the best odds of actually winning the lottery and picking first. It's a greater chance that 2 teams below them are going to end up winning and push them down to third place. So obviously, that's why you don't see that happen quite a bit. But the Anaheim Ducks with 13.5% chance, Chicago 11.5, Arizona 9.5, San Jose 8.5, as you can see, goes all the way down here, with Detroit being the final team that's eligible to move up all the way to 1 with only a 3% chance of winning. Now, let's go to the lottery, click the button, and we'll see which lucky team is going to win the Connor Bedard sweepstakes here and pick first overall in the 23 NHL Draft. Boom, there you have it. The Montreal Canadiens on their own selection at that. Wow, I mean, Montreal certainly picked first last year. They could pick first again this year if this obviously were to come true. The St. Louis Blues also had some fantastic lottery luck here, getting the second lottery spot, moving up the maximum 10 spots to number 2. So that is absolutely huge. The Jackets fall to 3, just like the odds suggest. The Ducks will pick 4th, the Blackhawks 5th, the Coyotes will be 6th, the Sharks will be 7th, the Canucks will be 8th, the Senators will be 9. The Flyers will be 10. Then, of course, you get Montreal's with their second pick, which obviously is a Florida Panthers selection that they traded to the Habs at number 11. Then you get Detroit, Buffalo, Nashville, the Islanders, and Colorado. Today, we're only going to do the top 10. So let's jump in and take a look at how this could work and what players I think they will select. Picking first overall, of course, we have the Montreal Canadiens. No doubt they're taking Connor Bedard of the Regina Pats. It currently looks like he's going to be a generational talent. In my opinion, will be the best first overall selection since Connor McDavid back in 2015. I think if you compare him to all the other first-round picks
first overall picks we've seen since in between that he will be a stronger, more dynamic player. He will be a gift to any team and make them way, way better. Montreal would be blessed. Any team would be blessed to get this player. He has a wicked shot already at his age, dynamic player in all aspects. He's not necessarily going to be a center. I think he could be, but there's still a potential he could be even a dynamic right winger. But either way, Connor Bedard's a special player. Any team would love to have him, and there's no doubt at all, whoever gets this pick, they're taking him for sure. At second overall, we have the St. Louis Blues, and I don't think there's any contention here either. They're taking Adam Fantilli, another potential franchise centerman. Fantilli's not quite as high-end talent, in my opinion, as Bedard, but will still be a great gift to any team able to select in this spot. I don't think there's really much doubt. I know Leo Carlsson, who I have going in the next selection, will challenge him, but Fantilli's got the size, the strength, and the skill to be like a number one NHL center, currently at the University of Michigan. Likely wouldn't be surprised if he played there another season before turning pro. That would not be bad for him at all. The Blues, of course, are in a situation where they're looking like they're going to miss the playoffs this year, which is why they're in this predicament. They won the lottery in the simulation, and with the turnover they're expected to have in their team, this would be future franchise center that they would really be able to build upon going forward. Selecting third overall, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they would take Swedish player Leo Carlsson, who again projects to be a real high-impact player. He can play center or wing, not quite clear exactly what he'll be at the NHL level. He had a really good tournament for Sweden at the World Juniors, putting up 6 points in 7 games, including 3 goals, a couple of which were really clutch goals. He's got good size and strength, which is obviously going to be a big asset, along with some high-end skill. Leo Carlsson will make a big difference to any team, and a team like Columbus, who's had some pretty good first-round picks in recent years, will be yet another big piece of the puzzle here to add to the repertoire. But certainly Carlsson, no doubt, will be a top 3 selection in this draft. At fourth overall, we have the Anaheim Ducks, and I have them selecting Russian player Matvei MItchkov. Now, of course, there's a lot of controversy around this player, where he's going to be selected because of the KHL factor, the fact that he's likely going to play in Russia for, upwards, I think, of 3 years before he makes the jump to North America. And even then, you just never know. Like, there is that Russian factor. Will he make the jump? That's obviously a risk. But this guy is certainly right in a conversation with the other 3 guys. As far as skill goes, there was a period of time before where he and Connor Bedard were kind of considered the head-to-head favorites to go first overall. But certainly Michkov makes a lot of sense for the Ducks. They know they're not going to be overly good for the next couple of years as they rebuild. He can be an excellent scoring winger to fit in well with guys like McTavish and Zegras and Terry as they continue to build up this Ducks roster, even though they're going to have to wait some time to make his presence known with the franchise. Selecting fifth overall, we have the Chicago Blackhawks, and I have them selecting forward Zach Benson of the Winnipeg Ice in the Western Hockey League. Not a huge guy, 5'10", about 160 pounds, plays all 3 forward positions. Very exciting player to watch, highly skilled player. Right now putting up 58 points in 35 games on a really good, deep Winnipeg Ice team that's expected to make a run at the Western Hockey League Championship. Might even be a team we see in the Memorial Cup. But Benson, like I said, a very versatile, high-end skilled player, and he would fit well with the Chicago Blackhawks rebuild. No doubt that he'd be an excellent choice for them for this team. At 6th overall, we have the Arizona Coyotes, and I have them taking Will Smith from the United States National Team Development Program. Will Smith is certainly another high-end prospect with a high skill level. Draws some comparisons to Trevor Zegras of the Anaheim Ducks. He is committed to playing in Boston College, so he will definitely be making the move to U.S. college hockey before he turns pro. Wouldn't be unusual to see him play 1 or possibly even 2 seasons or more there at BC before making the jump. Right now, this year, he has 15 points in 9 games for the juniors, and then the U18 team, he's put up 59 points in 39 games played in the USDP. So certainly having a strong season. Obviously, quite a compliment to compare him to Zegras, which would be a great pickup for the Coyotes or any other franchise that drafts him here high in the first round. At 7 overall, we have the San Jose Sharks, and I have them selecting Dalibor Dvorsky. Now, Dvorsky himself was another player who had a pretty strong showing at the World Junior Championships, representing his country of Slovakia. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, just not quite 18 years of age here as of yet. He'll be 18 in June, right before the NHL draft. Obviously, at the tournament, like I thought he played pretty well. You can tell he's good, a 200-foot player, good in all ends of the ice, smart player. Might not be a first-line player, but a really, really smart, offensively gifted middle six player who can certainly pitch in and be a good fit. So for me, at this point in the draft, he would be one of a few players you could consider for San Jose at this selection. Selecting 8th overall, we have the Vancouver Canucks, and I have them taking a homegrown talent in Andrew Crystal, also playing in the Western Hockey League for the Kelowna Rockets. Certainly, Crystal is a very talented, very exciting player. Does draw a lot of comparisons to his good friend Connor Bedard. Obviously, Bedard and Crystal have a long-standing friendship, both from the Vancouver area, so certainly would be fun to see them competing against each other or be teammates at the NHL level. Crystal is 5'10", 160 pounds, putting up almost 2 points per game in the Western Hockey League this year. 62 points in 36 games played for Kelowna this year. Like I said, I think if it wasn't for the skill level of his buddy Bedard, he might get a little bit more attention in this draft. But certainly when you take a look at Bedard, Fantilli, Carlson, he might even be able to jump up here in the draft rankings. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he ends up going up, 5 or 6 or something like that, based on how he finishes the year. At 9 overall, we have the Ottawa Senators, and I have them selecting Edward Shea. Shea, yet another player who had a strong showing at the World Junior Championships. As I mentioned off the top, the World Junior certainly played a big part here in some of these draft rankings being updated. Of course, he played for the Czech Republic, 6'1", 168 pounds. He'll be turning 18 in March. Plays on the wing. Like I said, a pretty smart, talented player for sure. Put up 6 points in 7 games for Czechia and had a really good showing. Overall, I think he would be a good fit on the Senators roster, who obviously has a lot of high-end top 6 talent, where he probably fits more as a middle 6 talent and could be a great complementary player to a great young core group of players that they're building around right now. At 10th overall, we have the Philadelphia Flyers, and I have them selecting a centerman from the Moose Jaw Warriors, Brayden Yager. Yager is 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, just recently turned 18 back earlier in January. Of course, having himself an excellent season in the Western Hockey League as well, like some of his WHL counterparts. Certainly going to be a very WHL-heavy draft here in the top part of the first round with some real high-end talented players making their presence known in the top 10, top 15. Right now, he has 52 points in 43 games, counting as well 20 goals in that process for Moose Jaw. Obviously, he also played for Canada's U18 team at the most recent Hlinka Gretzky tournament, putting up 9 points in 5 games. Yager certainly seems like he should be a very talented NHL prospect. It would be a good fit here in Philadelphia, as they certainly need to continue to add more young players to their roster and organization as they certainly go in a bit of a rebuild here moving forward.
So those are my selections for the top 10 picks. Obviously, I want to know your thoughts on who you think should be getting the first overall pick. Obviously, it's not, based on who needs it the most, but it would be nice to know who your thoughts are on what teams actually deserve it, would benefit the most. I mean, Connor Bedard is going to be a generational talent by the looks of things. Could be an absolute game changer and a big-time change for a team to get him on their roster. So let me know your thoughts on that, as well as the selections I made on these prospects. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll discuss all of that in the comments down below. If you're new to this channel, of course, make sure you subscribe, stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all kinds more details and videos coming up in the future on the 23 NHL Draft. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.